ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जायमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरोत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवां च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमा ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, chapter number 25, the descriptions of the characteristics of King Puranjana by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So we are at verse number 11. So we will recite it again and then we'll read that. सोन्वेषमाणं शरणं बभ्राम पृथिवीं प्रभु नानुरूपं यदा विन्दद्भुत्स विमना इव. Translation.
So, Prabhuji, we have read half
You could,
half of the
yes,
purport, right? Yeah. So I'll
once again
continue
we
with
can
the
read.
remaining part of the purport. Yeah.
Guruji, once again we can read.
Once again. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. Okay. Translation: King Puranjana began to search for a suitable place to live, and thus he traveled all over the world. Even after a great deal of traveling, he could not find a place just to his liking. Finally, he became morose and disappointed. Purport: The travelings of Puranjana are similar to the travelings of the modern hippies. Generally, hippies are sons of great fathers and great families. It is not that they are always poor, but some way or another they abandon the shelter of their rich fathers and travel all over the world. As stated in this verse, the living entity wants to become a Prabhu or master. The word Prabhu means master, but actually the living entity is not a master. He is the eternal servant of God. When the living entity abandons the shelter of God, Krishna, and tries to become a Prabhu independently, he travels all over the creation. There are 8.4 million species of life and millions and trillions of planets within the creation. The living entity wanders throughout these various types of bodies and throughout different planets. And thus he is like King Puranjana, who traveled all over the world looking for a suitable place to live. Shri Narottama Das Thakur had sung Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, Kevala Vishera Bhanda. The path of Karma Kanda, fruitive activities, and the path of Jnanakanda speculation are just like strong pots of poison. Amruta Baliya Yeba Khaya Nana Yoni Sada Fire. A person who mistakes this poison to be nectar and drinks it travels in different species of life. Kadraya Bhaksana Kare. And according to his body, he eats all types of abominable things. For instance, when the living entity is in the body of a hog, he eats stool. When the living entity is in the body of a crow, he eats all kinds of refuse, even pus and mucus, and enjoys it. Thus, Narottama Das Thakur points out that the living entity travels in different types of bodies and eats all kinds of abominable things. When he does not become ultimately happy, he becomes morose or takes to the ways of hippies. Thus, in this verse, it is said, Na anurupam, that the king could never find a place suitable for this purpose. This is because in any form of life, and on any planet in the material world, a living entity cannot be happy because everything in the material world is unsuitable for the spirit soul. As stated in this verse, the living entity independently wants to become a Prabhu. But as soon as he gives up this idea and becomes a servant of God, Krishna, his happiness immediately begins. Therefore, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur sings, Mishe Mayara Vase Yacha Bheshe Kacha Habudubu Bai. My dear living entity, why are you being carried away by the waves of Maya? As stated in the Bhagavad Gita 18.61, Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Ruddeshe Arjuna Tishtati Brahmayan Sarva Bhutani Yantra Rudani Maya. The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, and is directing the wanderings of all living entities who are seated as on a machine made of the material energy. The living entity is carried in the machine of the body through so many species of life on so many planets. Therefore, Bhaktivinoda Thakur asked the living entity why he is being carried away in these bodily machines to be placed in so many different circumstances. He advises that one surmount the waves of Maya by surrendering unto Krishna. Jiva Krishna Dasa e Vishwasa Karleta Ara Dukkha Nai. As soon as we confront Krishna, Krishna advises, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Moksha Ishyami Ma Suchaha. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. Bhagavad Gita 18.66. Thus, we are immediately relieved from traveling from one body to another and from one planet to another. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavana Jiva. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila 19.151. If while traveling, a living entity becomes fortunate enough to become blessed by the association of devotees and to come to Krishna consciousness, his real life actually begins. This Krishna consciousness movement is giving all wandering living entities a chance to take to the shelter of Krishna and thus become happy. In this verse, the words Vimana, Eva are very significant. In this material world, even the great king of heaven is also full of anxiety. If even Lord Brahma is full of anxiety, what of these ordinary living entities who are working within this planet? Bhagavad Gita 8.16 confirms Abrahma Bhuvana Loka Punaravarti no Arjuna. From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all are places of misery, wherein repeated birth and death take place. In the material world, a living entity is never satisfied. Even in the position of Brahma or in the position of Indra or Chandra, one is full of anxiety simply because he has accepted this material world as a place of happiness. Hare Krishna.
Yes, so we will read the next verse, text number 12. न साधु मे नेता सर्वा भूतले यावती पुरा कामान कामयमानोऽसौ तस्य तस्योपपत्तये. Translation:
Translation: King Puranjana had unlimited desires for sense enjoyment. Consequently, he traveled all the world to find a place where all his desires could be fulfilled. Unfortunately, he found a feeling of insufficiency everywhere. Purport: Srila Vidyapati, a great Vaishnava poet, has sung Tattala Saikate Vari Bindu Sama Suta Mita Ramani Samajhe. Material sense gratification with society, friendship, and love is herein compared to a drop of water falling on a desert. A desert requires oceans of water to satisfy it, and if only a drop of water is supplied, what is its use? Similarly, the living entity is part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as stated in the Vedanta Sutra, is Anandamayo Bhayasta, full of enjoyment. Being part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the living entity is also seeking complete enjoyment. However, complete enjoyment cannot be achieved separate from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In his wanderings in the different species of life, the living entity may taste some type of enjoyment in one body or another, but full enjoyment of the senses cannot be obtained in any material body. Thus, Puranjana, the living entity, wanders in different types of bodies, but everywhere meets frustration in his attempt to enjoy. In other words, the spiritual spark covered by matter cannot fully enjoy the senses in any circumstance in material life. A deer may be absorbed in the musical sounds vibrated by the hunter, but the result is that it loses its life. Similarly, a fish is very expert in gratifying its tongue, but when it eats the bait offered by the fisherman, it loses its life. Even the elephant, who is so strong, is captured and loses its independence while satisfying its genitals with a female elephant. In each and every species of life, the living entity gets a body to satisfy various senses, but he cannot enjoy all his senses at one time. In the human form of life, he gets an opportunity to enjoy all his senses pervertedly, but the result is that he becomes so harassed in his attempted sense gratification that he ultimately becomes morose. As he tries to satisfy his senses more and more, he becomes more and more entangled. Hare Krishna.
Yes. We'll read one more verse. Text 13. स एकदा हिमवतो दक्षिणेष्वथ सानुषु ददर्श नवभिर्द्वार्भिः पुरं लक्षितलक्षणाम्. Translation.
Once, while wandering in this way, he saw the southern side of the Himalayas in a place named Bharatavarsha, India, a city that had 9 gates all about and was characterized by all auspicious facilities. Purport: the tract of land south of the Himalaya mountains is the land of India, which was known as Bharatvarsha. When a living entity takes birth in Bharatvarsha, he is considered to be most fortunate. Indeed, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has stated, Bharata Bhumite Haila Manusya Jivan Yara Janma Sarthaka Kari Kara Para Upakara. Chaitanya Charitamrit Adi 9.41. Thus, whoever takes birth in the land of Bharatvarsha attains all the facilities of life. He may take advantage of all these facilities for both material and spiritual advancement, and thus make his life successful. After attaining the goal of life, one may distribute his knowledge and experience all over the world of humanitarian purpose. In other words, one who distributes his knowledge and experience all over the world. In other words, one who takes birth in the land of Bharatvarsha by virtue of his past pious activities gets full facility to develop the human form of life. In India, the climate condition is such that one can live very peacefully without being disturbed by material conditions. Indeed, during the time of Maharaj Yudhishthira and Lord Ramachandra, people were free from all anxieties. There was not even extreme cold or extreme heat. The three kinds of miserable conditions, Adi Adhyatmika, Adi Bhautika, and Adi Daivika, miseries inflicted by the body and mind itself, those inflicted by other living entities, and natural disturbances, were all absent during the reign of Lord Ramachandra or Maharaj Yudhishthir. But at present, compared to other countries on earth, India is artificially disturbed. Despite these material disturbances, however, the country's culture is such that one can easily attain the goal of life, namely salvation, or liberation from material bondage. Thus, in order to take birth in India, one must have performed many pious activities in past life. In this verse, the word Lakshita Lakshanam indicate that the human body attained in Bharatvarsha is very auspicious. Vedic culture is full of knowledge, and a person born in India can carefully take advantage of Vedic cultural knowledge and the cultural system known as Varnashrama Dharma. Even at present time, as well, as we travel all over the world, we can see that some countries, human beings have many material facilities, but no facilities for spiritual advancement. We find everywhere the defects of one-sided facilities and a lack of full facilities. A blind man can walk but cannot see. Oh, sorry, can somebody please continue reading? And a lame man cannot walk but can see the following. Yeah, please. Thank
you. We find everyone the defects of one-side facilities and the lack of full facilities. A blind man can walk but not see, and a lame man cannot walk but can see. And Andha Bongo Nayana, the blind man may take the lame man over his shoulder, and he walk the lame man may give his direction. Thus, combine that may work, but individually, neither the blind man nor the lame man can walk successfully. Similarly, the human form of life is meant for the advancement of spiritual life and for keeping the material necessities in order, especially specifically, in the Western countries, there are ample facilities for material comforts, but no one has any idea of spiritual advancement. May are hankering after spiritual advancement, but may cheater came cheater come take advantage of their money, bluff them and go away. Fortunately, the Krishna consciousness movement is there to give all facilities for both material and spiritual advancement. In this way, people in the Western countries may take advantage of this moment in India and men in the village unflected by the industrial cities of India can still live in any condition and make spiritual advancement. The body has been called the cities of nine gates, and these nine gates include two eyes, two ears, two nostrils, one mouth, a genital, and a rectum. When the nine gates are clean and working properly, it is to be understood that the body is healthy. In India, these nine gates are kept clean by the villagers who rise early in the morning, bath in the well or river, go to the temple to attend Mangalarti, chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantram, and take prasad. In this way, one can take advantage of all the facilities of human life. We are gradually introducing this system in different centers in our society in the Western countries. One who take advantage of it become more and more entangled in spiritual life. At the present moment, India may be compared to the lame man and the Western country to the blind man. For the past 2000 years, India has been sub- subjugated by the rule of foreigners, and the leg of progress have been broken. In these Western countries, the eyes of the people have become blind due to the dazzling glitter of material opulence. The blind man of the Western countries and the lame man of India should combine together in this Krishna consciousness movement. Then the lame man of the India can walk with the help of the Westerner, and the blind Westerner can see with the help of the layman. In short, the material advancement of the Western countries and the spiritual ascent of India should combine for the elevations of all human society. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji will explain this tomorrow. He has some work, I think, today. So we'll conclude here and continue tomorrow. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you,
Thank you,
Prabhupada.
Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, everyone. Hari Bol.